Before I get into this story, I want to start by saying, do it. Brie, do it. Kevin Feige, do it. This has to happen. I have a goal of purchasing a shed, building a nice shed in the back corner of my yard to store my lawnmower during the winter months, my snowblower during the summer months, pool accoutrement, and other items. An all-female, mega-diverse MCU film directed by Brie Larson. Do it. In a new interview with CNET, Brie Larson shares a lot of interesting things, but I thought we would go over a couple different things in a couple different interviews that came out. Now, it's interesting that Brie continues to get all of the press in a movie that she was in for about 15 minutes. If there's one character I'm excited to see in Avengers Endgame, it's Captain Marvel. She's the only character we really haven't seen interact with the rest of the Avengers. Well, I'm sorry, but you're going to keep waiting. I got the chance to talk to Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, about electric vehicles and why they are important to her. You can check out our Q&A over at the Roadshow. Don't care about any of that, even though I drive an electric vehicle myself. During your time with Carol, you've been vocal about of course, to go from electric cars to you've been really vocal about intersectional feminism. Why are there so many amazing female heroes in Marvel Comics? Which one would you like to see headline their own MCU movie? Anyone you're just dying to see on screen? I would love to see a Valkyrie solo movie. I would also love to see Miss Marvel. Ugh, Miss Marvel would be awful. Valkyrie, maybe. They've just begun to tap her abilities, and I love her story so much. It would be my hope she comes sooner than later as Carol's sidekick. Oh, a sidekick? Oh, why is she not equal to you? And then eventually, eventually kind of takes over. Then, of course, the Wakanda ladies. I could watch a whole movie of those warrior women. There's so much to be mined from that. So I think there's a lot of material out there for the new worlds to delve into. I don't disagree. I think the idea, though, that you can take these obscure characters and then just make them a star of a single film, I guess... Doctor Strange, I guess he's not, I wouldn't call him obscure, but not as obscure as like Ms. Marvel. But Valkyrie, she's been in a few films. I think maybe, I definitely would like to see more from these characters. I just don't know if they could hold their own. Be interesting. I'm so ready to see Kamala Khan in the MCU. Me too. I'm ready. I'm so ready. Big fists, stretchy arms. Yeah, that'll look cheeseball. I don't know how they can make that not look cheesy, but maybe. If anyone can do it, Marvel can, I suppose. You're not just an actress, you're a director too. Do you have any aspirations to direct an MCU movie? Totally. For me, whether it's acting or directing, it's about the story. And I've always been incredibly impressed with Marvel's ability to talk about very difficult subject matters, whether it's internal human condition stuff or worldwide issues. Though the metaphor of superheroes and alien in space I feel like they become such a powerful tool of connection because, of course, there's something I would love to tackle eventually, given the right story. Because just on acting side of Captain Marvel, I worked on it for 2 years, and it's even longer when you're writing and directing a Marvel movie. So it'd have to be a story that you really feel passionate about in your gut, that's undeniable and will carry you through a couple of years. Well, certainly Brie Larson has a deep knowledge of the females and POCs in the Marvel universe. I think it is only natural that after Kevin Feige has said that he wants Captain Marvel be the new face of the Avengers. I think this is great. I think absolutely you should populate her team with all women and underrepresented characters. I think it would be excellent. Not because I would love memeing on all the articles about how woke it is. No. I think, and you know what? If the movie turns out good byproduct. Makes sense. 2 more questions. If Carol's were to show up in another MCU film like Thor Ragnarok, which is a buddy movie between Hulk and Thor, what character would you want to team up with? I'm still really into this idea of all-female Avengers movie. It worked great for Ghostbusters. And Ocean's 9 or whatever the heck that abomination was. Getting all the women together and having them work as a team would be so powerful and iconic. Just because having just seen Avengers Endgame, getting to see all those characters on screen, you realize the beauty of those new superhero movies is that everyone has their own special skills they bring to the table. They own, superpower, their own. And to see women work together in that way as a team is not something we've seen enough of on screen. Oh, I mean, weren't you working together with women in Captain Marvel? Weren't the women of Black Panther working together? Weren't the women in Infinity War working together? I mean, I'm just starting with Marvel films. I think what you mean to see is you want exclusively women working together, I suppose. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hope. I mean, like, look. I know my detractors will say this is like some sort of anti-woman. No, I want this film. This film must happen, and it must be directed by Brie Larson. I think it would be a masterpiece. Avengers Endgame star Brie Larson calls out lack of diversity in Marvel films. We gotta move faster. Far-left actress and activist Brie Larson complained about the lack of diversity in Marvel movie universe, declaring that the producers must move faster to address the issue. In an interview with Variety, the Avengers Endgame star said she was happy to be playing the first female Captain Marvel because it was an assertion that diverse storytelling matters. Well, I don't know. Why didn't she give up her role to a person of color, I suppose? I'm happy to be on the forefront of the normalization of this type of content. What? First of all, in the last 2 years, I feel like Wonder Woman and Gal Gadot did a little bit more than you did, Brie Larson. Once again, representation matters, diverse storytelling matters, the female experience matters. These are all markers. Brie Larson said, so it's something I've always known, and I think a lot of people always knew. This is just normalizing. What? This is to assert that strong female characters are somehow like there's an aversion to them. I think the box office of Wonder Woman has something to tell you, Brie Larson. Or how about Sarah Connor? Or how about Riley? Or how about I just don't know how many times. Now the question is how many is enough? Okay, sure, there are more male-led films with like action or alpha type characters, but there's more female-led like rom-coms and other types of films. So I mean, I don't understand. I feel like there are plenty of female and male leads in movies, and Brie Larson absolutely isn't even the 10th female to lead an action film. Variety's Mark Malkin then told Larson that he'd never thought he would grow up to see an LGBT superhero, a belief Larson said disappointed her. I know. Isn't that true, everyone? Isn't that true? Don't you really want to know what Iron Man is doing in between scenes? Aren't you curious what the Incredible Hulk's love life is like? Where is She-Hulk? Or is he androgynous? Or these are the questions that real superhero fans want to know. That breaks my heart to hear that, because there's no reason, Larson said. I don't understand how you could think that a certain type of person isn't allowed to be a superhero. Nobody said that. Nobody said that, Brie Larson. That is what you call a straw man. Nobody out there is saying, well, just because a superhero is or somebody's gay, they can't be a superhero. Who's saying that? I mean, look at the comics. You've got a slew of them now. Didn't they make Iceman? Didn't they retcon Iceman to be gay, by the way? I don't think anyone was saying, well, because of that, he can't be a superhero. People were making fun of that comic book because crummy, virtue-signaling comic book authors write these characters like that defines them. Like a gay person, every decision they make throughout the day revolves around their sexuality, which is absurd. It minimizes those people. It tokenizes them. And these idiots are celebrated for writing stories like that. People made fun of Iceman because of his horrible writing. And they force like everything, every interaction from any LGBTQ characters in these books always has, if there's two women together, boom, love interest. I mean, it's like, can't these people just be people like everyone else? That's my biggest problem with a lot of these writers and people like Brie Larson who think that that's what defines a human, when it's by far one of the least of my concerns when it comes to a human, or when it comes to fictional superheroes. All right, we got to move faster. I'm always wanting to move faster with this stuff. It wasn't enough for me to just look strong on a poster. It needed to extend further than that. I feel like I can't, at the end of the day, go to sleep at night if I didn't do everything I possibly could. Brie Larson, who recently starred in Captain Marvel in the film of the same name, has previously described how playing the roles of female superheroes amounted to her own form of activism, despite reports she was paid $15 million to take on the role. The movie was the biggest and best opportunity I could have ever asked for. She continued. I don't disagree with her. It was like my superpower. Like, this film could be my form of activism that pays $15 million a film. A film that can play all over the world and that I can be in physically. In February, Larson also complained that the press tour for Captain Marvel film risked being dominated by white males. But a year ago, I started paying attention to what my press days look like, blah, 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 blah. We've already covered that. Look, I think this is great. I really do. A super diverse, all-female Avengers led by, written by, starred in by Brie Larson must happen. What do we have to do? Do we have to get a change.org thing going to get to Kevin? I think, the power of 4chan, Operation OKKK, I think this needs to be the next thing. We need to push for this. We need to make this happen for the memes alone. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.